It's still hot, guys. I thought on July the 4th, everything would be like kind of mellow. That was a lie. It is not. The heat did not. The heat did not desist today, which I thought it was. I thought the I thought the heat would desist. So, oh well. Whew. This is why I cut my hair earlier this week because of the heat. That and I like it cut this low anyway. People keep saying I'm bald, and it's just because they're retarded. I don't take YouTube commenters. I don't take YouTube viewers seriously anymore. Like I think most of them are like pretty stupid people, which is why they think people actually care about their comments. But whatever.
And their abusive price increases, 4 times the rate of inflation. That's 15 yards for price gouging. 500% markups on cancer drugs.
Happy July the 4th. Happy Independence Day. It's America's semi-quincentennial or 250th birthday, so good stuff.
So, you guys are familiar with The Rock. He's kind of a big deal, or at least he was. Maybe not so much in the past year or two. But he is under fire, once again, but not by the audience. He's under fire from the likes of George Takei and Will Wheaton. I mean, really a force to be reckoned with here. Dwayne Johnson slammed as a coward for staying quiet on politics. Star Trek icon George Takei, how is he still alive? Fires back, silence is complicity. So he's catching flack on social media after he told Esquire magazine this month that he will no longer speak publicly on politics, which is a really smart thing for any actor to do. Yep. I would encourage you all to follow his lead.
But let me fix this up so I can see all my messages.
Commit to that as action, but not necessarily make
all right.
That statement because it attracts
good stuff there.
Controversy then, instead of just playing it cool.
Probably. Well, I guess he was asked directly.
And this is asking me anything format, so you can ask me questions. Just make sure they're family friendly. Try to get more comfortable with them.
Fucking always chasing clout, this guy. So disappointing to find out he is such a coward. Replied Will Wheaton. Yeah, fucking say that to his face, buddy, and then see how that goes.
I don't know, it's also just funny because most of the statements someone like a Will Wheaton will make are the ones that he finds out are approved ahead of time.
Uh-huh.
So it's like, oh yes, the coward, I see.
I just want to point out that a statement made on Threads about silence being complicity is in itself silence because nobody saw it because it's on Threads.
That's true, yeah.
George Takei, as the great William Shatner calls him, is a
I need water.
That's it. That's all
Drink
he ever
water.
was. He's not. He might be in Hollywood. The only reason he gets any attention is because of his politics. And the same for Will Wheaton, who used to grift on the nerd space, and then he went nuts. I remember when he left Twitter. He used to write just for Twitter at the time books on Twitter, if you guys remember, and on Facebook. And he's always been this way, and he's always been annoying. So two Star Trek actors who've done nothing with their careers afterwards want Dwayne Johnson to talk about politics.
It is funny that we talked about 1991 earlier, and I would argue that's the last time that both of these guys were actually relevant in Hollywood.
George Takei hasn't been relevant since
he's promoting Moana right now. He's obviously on the press circuit. Says he regrets endorsing Joe Biden for president in 2020. I think a lot of people probably feel that way. Yeah. Anyway, it says, my goal is to bring this country together. I believe in that. There will be no endorsement. At this level of influence, I
What's
will
up, Brody?
keep my politics to myself. It's between me and the ballot box. I mean, he has getting a little bit of ego stroking there.
God, he's not wrong, yeah, but like to say it out loud, like, oh, with my influence, you know, I could tip the scales of an election and such.
I'm so damn powerful. I'm basically the kingmaker right here.
But remember too, The Rock was out there going hard for Biden when he was running. So
Yep.
Yeah.
I
Sure
think
was.
if The Rock makes like a song, like Imagine or something, if he recorded like
Yeah.
a song, that would change everything.
Yeah.
You know?
We need
No.
another global pandemic
That was
so we
Gal
can cure
Gadot's
us all
best
up.
acting job.
yeah. and,
But, yeah.
and the fact that The Rock destroyed G.I. Joe, well, he destroyed G.I. Joe, you know, entirely. That's why I can't stand the guy anymore.
Had to bring it up. I mean, you're not wrong.
He did.
I do
Sorry,
like this
Greg.
quote from
No,
him
it's all
here,
good.
right? Where he says, "What
Like-
I've learned through experience is that I need to keep need, not want, the main thing." And the main thing for
Like,
me, the
he
thing
did not
that's
fit
in
the role
morning
of
I swing my
Roadblock
legs out of bed and
at
go
all.
towards is creating.
They
It's
could have
art,
used
it's
so much.
storytelling. I've learned
They
I'm
could have
not
chose someone
one
better
for
for
myself.
Roadblock.
There are
But the
moments
movie
of
was
pain,
shit
there's
anyway.
nothing, we can't
Hasbro
talk
makes
about. If I'm
horrible
wrong, I'll tell you
live
I'm
action
wrong. Or if
versions
I
of
feel
their
like I got a leg
content.
up and this is the right way to go, I'll share it with you. Politics is omnipresent and it's forever. I don't hate it. I hate it at times. Okay. I hate the slinging. I hate all the bullshit that comes with it. And he's 100% right. Like, if you're an artist, concentrate on creating art. Don't concern yourself with politics. It's not your domain. You're probably not qualified to talk about it. Leave it alone. Now, with Dwayne Johnson, he's the master of saying what he thinks people want to hear. He's
Mhm.
done it for his entire Hollywood career. The moment he gets the slightest bit of pushback on anything, he'll either retract or he'll pivot to something else. He's not big on, like, you're never going to see him do a Rachel Zegler, where he's like, I'm just going to go down in flames with this political opinion, even if it's destroying my career. He will do what it takes to survive, but at the same time, I don't disagree with his stance on this one.
Although, I mean, again, and he's feeling burned from his endorsement of Biden because, I mean, you guys have seen the video. It's so cringe and fake and awful and everything that's bad about Hollywood celebrity. So hopefully he learned his lesson. But the only reason he did is because it hurt his brand. Let's be real.
And didn't he
Yeah.
try going back to WWE after endorsing Biden and then discovered that the pro wrestling fans are not necessarily big fans of Joe Biden? Surprise of himself, apparently.
Except
Yeah,
for
it
CM
didn't work
Punk.
out. Well, I think that as well. He's kind of morphed into this Hulk Hogan figure, where it's like you're way over the hill for wrestling, but you just refuse to leave the limelight. And so every few years you'll show up and insert yourself into like a major storyline because you're that big of a deal that you can just do that. You've got clout, but like you haven't earned it, and so everyone just kind of gets pissed off with him because he's now just thrown his weight around. And yeah, it didn't work out for him too well for various reasons.
He made a mistake, not that he would have been great, but he made a decision in his career not to do like Arnold Schwarzenegger rated R action movies. He wanted to do more family friendly.
Yeah, but his movies suck.
And that's where he should have.
I can
gone. He
point
should
to
have gone
multiple
into the
Schwarzenegger films that I like.
hyper-violent,
Some of them are
rated
even
R,
PG-13.
saving some kids
I
from
can't really point to
child
any
traffickers
movie
kind of movie.
with The Rock in it
totally
that's
not
like a
really
must see
Hollywood.
that I need to,
Well,
like
it
something
is
that I
bad.
would buy
They
on
do have-
physical
they've
media.
recently discovered that
Not
there's child
one.
trafficking, like in the last
What?
couple of years. Yeah.
But I can point to several
After ignoring it
Schwarzenegger
for-
films.
And being his best
Terminator
client
2,
for 20 years, you know.
Predator,
Well, but you can see how they'll
Total
portray it.
Recall.
Like, if it's terrorism, it'll be white guys.
Conan.
If it's child trafficking, it'll be white guys. Like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. Sure.
How many different ways can we make white guys the bad guys?
Yeah, exactly. It is kind of interesting, though, that they made Citizen Vigilante available free on Twitter for like 48 hours. And it's blown up. Like, it's somehow become like the most culturally relevant movie of the year. And you're not supposed to see it. And it's a fucking UV Ball movie.
Yeah.
And it's not a technically well-made movie in the slightest. UV Ball should not be a director. But it's tapped into the zeitgeist, I guess, and it's become like this underground hit.
I wonder if I should
somehow. And it's the
go to bed
stress
now
effect in action.
Yes.
People
and
like
get
try
back
to
up
smother it,
because
but
I
it's
know
like
by the
flames.
nighttime I'm going to
I
hear a
know
bunch
it's
of
not the same,
fireworks.
but it almost had
And I
that
should just be
sound
like,
of
all right,
Freedom
fuck it,
Bike
I'm gonna,
because
might as
nobody was
well.
really
Yeah.
talking about it until it finally blew up.
Mm-hmm.
The difference being though, like Sound of Freedom is a relatively like technically well-made movie,
Yeah.
Yeah.
whereas this is a UV Ball exploitation flick, 100% of the
Admittedly,
way.
one I'd say is probably his best film. But
Yeah.
That's a tough
Isn't
bar to
it
clear, Gary.
But
It's
what's
kind of like saying, this is the tastiest turd I've ever eaten.
Congress struck another shady backroom deal. This time, they want to bring over 3,000 Chinese driverless vehicles to America, all to benefit Waymo. China's driverless vehicles will map our
I'm a real American. Fight for what's right. Fight for.
If teaching is what you're meant to do, WGU is where you can become great at it. Earn your bachelor's or master's in education online on your schedule and with support that's available when you need it. Make your passion your profession. Learn more at wgu.edu.
This is what you get with cubic zirconia status. This is well known as diamond status.
Oh no, it froze. Oh no. I don't know how long I'm gonna be in this space. Basically, till I can't take it anymore. Man, why did it freeze? Son of a bitch. Alright, fuck it.
I saw where you were speaking about big writing process. When did it get to the point that he didn't have to write no more? You remember?
He stopped writing like towards the end of like Ready to Die. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of that album is written on paper. You know, most of it. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, after just a few experiences, you know, dipping and dabbing, doing the features, you know, Mary J. Blige, Sweet Cab with Dolly Baby, you know, Let's Get It On with Pac. Like, you know, he was starting to get his feet wet into the business and, you know, just doing the exercise. And, you know, he had records with Onyx and, you know, Naughty by Nature, stuff like that. He started to get
He did?
hip to it, just trying to find the process just to make it faster. Out of nowhere, he just started locking in and memorizing things. So, you know, by the time we got to the end of Ready to Die, he wasn't writing all that. It was just locked in the head, and everything else after that became just all, you know, just all in the mind.
Was that something that happened naturally, or was that a goal for him to stop writing?
You know, for us, it was something natural. It was never like a conversation like he was sitting around, you know, with all the homeboys shit like, yo, I can't wait.
What's up to everyone in the chat room?
But that wasn't nothing that was like
Again, happy July the 4th to everyone.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't nothing like you had to do to become successful, but it was just more like he just started getting used to just working more.
Sorry for the bad lighting. I'm just trying to avoid the extra heat brought about by putting on a bunch of unnecessary lights. Like I even closed the curtains because just didn't want the heat. Anyway, but maybe I can open a little bit just to get a little bit better lighting.
And lay down 3 verses, hook, ad-lib. You know, like the whole structure of a song is done. And that shit was amazing, you know what I'm saying?
Do you remember the first time that you saw him narrate?
Alright, there we go.
I don't remember the first time, but I think what's kind of like the first one I can't think of the first one I seen, but I think towards the end of the album he started doing like the Big Papa remix. It's a remix he did with Jermaine Dupri. And we was in Atlanta at Jermaine Dupri's studio. And he did the last verse, changed the last verse to it. Both first and second verse was the same, but I think I see him right down that third verse, and I think that's where I started to see him like, okay, he doing this shit like it's nothing now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's crazy to hear, man. Because, I mean, that was something that was natural for him. But when you look at rappers now, that's a goal for them to not write. But, yeah, that's crazy to hear, man. That Big, he wasn't even trying to not write. It just happened naturally.
Yeah, I mean, it became an exercise. And I think once people started to hear stories about how he didn't write, you know, he didn't write stuff down, he memorized it, a lot of people, like, started to take that exercise and, you know, Lil Wayne. Everybody be hearing about Lil Wayne don't write shit down, you know what I'm saying? And It just no, I don't write that. I don't write stuff down no more. I ain't, I be around Jadakiss a lot. I don't know the last time I seen him with a pen and pad. And since the phone game came, a lot of people start writing in their Blackberries and writing in their phones. You know what I mean? Instead of having a pen and pad. You know what I mean? So now I think it's just now like everybody learning how to like memorize that shit. You're sitting around. You just gotta just keep reciting things over your head, keep reciting it. And if you're really good, if you write some really dope shit, you go to sleep and you wake up and you still got, all that shit still be locked in. Then you know you got it. Because I used to try to do that and I missed out on some great bars, man. Some great bars, some great rhymes, thinking I'm gonna memorize that. And I'm gonna have that shit on Smash the next day. And I woke up like, damn, missing some lines and, missing some melodies and shit like that. But, he mastered that back then, you know what I mean?
That's crazy. So he ain't do no writing on Life Like You Do at all?
No pen and pad. I ain't seen not one lyric on a piece of paper. No pen for every session I was in. Didn't see him write down a drop. Yeah, dog. Yeah, he was one of those, bro. His mom's got a lot of his. He used to have one of them yellow pads. That you just flip over. It wasn't a composition book. He used to have one of them yellow pads, and she had like a lot of his verses and drawings. He used to draw a lot. At one point when he wasn't
Man,
writing,
the title of
he used
this
to be
video
just
is
doing that shit just to
misleading.
draw
Where,
shit. You know what I'm saying?
where's it getting to the
But
thing
she
about
got
DMX
something
not going to school with
the
him?
earlier, I remember warning on
The
piece of
very,
paper,
very
and I
end
remember
of the
writing it
video.
down because we was in his room when he was writing that rhyme. So stuff like that, I remember clearly, stuff that was on paper. But I can't tell you if I saw any piece of paper with near verse from Life and Death that was on paper.
Crazy. Did you know Big when he was in high school?
Yeah, but we wasn't super we wasn't. I wasn't outside super active like that. Yeah, but I know why we was only 5 years apart. You know what I mean? So we wasn't too far off. You know what I mean? I was still running around the streets by the time he was going to high school.
Yeah, I always heard that he went to high school with Jay, Busta Rhymes, and DMX.
I never heard DMX going to school with Big. That's the one I never heard about. That was never mentioned, but he was definitely in Westinghouse. That's a high school downtown Brooklyn, right next to Fort Greene Project downtown. He definitely went to school with Jay-Z and Busta. They both was in that school as well. But I don't know about DMX being there. I know DMX is from YO. You know what I mean? Shout out to DMX, R.I.P. the X-Man. But I don't recall him, I never heard that story about him being there. And
Right, he's from Yonkers. How is he going to school in Brooklyn?
Some interview at one point where I would have talked about all the people he went to school with, but everybody knows he was in school with Busta Rhymes and Hov in Westinghouse.
So that was a real thing that he actually went to high school with him.
Yeah. Like he was in there, he was in there. They was doing little rap offs and stuff back then in high school. You know what I'm saying? Like not battling, but they all knew that they all rapped because they was rapping, since he was 11, 12. You know what I mean? But we didn't know he was rapping until he was 15, 16 years old. That's when we figured it out. But he been trying to master that craft, and he been writing songs since he was 10, 11 years old. You know what I'm saying?
But you have heard that wrong before, though, right? That he went to high school with DMX.
No, I never heard nobody mention that. And Jadakiss my brother, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like man, that's the bro. That's family right there. I'm sure he would have been at least asking me that if he ain't already known.
Hey, what's up,
that.
Jonathan?
I mean, he grew up with X and YL. You know what I'm saying? Like they all came up together. So nah, that was the first time when you mentioned it to me. I was like, I ain't never hear that one. You know what I'm saying? So
Right, because they would have definitely collaborated.
Definitely Hov and Busta. He was in high school.
Are there any songs with DMX and Biggie? I don't think so.
Say hello to Zero.
I'm trying to remember.
The easiest way to stop
There's songs where, there's songs,
and more time building.
there's definitely Bad Boy songs with DMX on it because he almost signed to Bad Boy. But Puffy thought he was too raw for Bad Boy from what Puffy said himself. He said that was the biggest mistake not signing him.
Watch all FIFA World Cup matches on Fox One, available with YouTube. Now it's easy to
race around the world to find out who's faster, the Flash or Superman.
Good luck, Soups, and may the best man win.
Don't worry, I will. After all, I'm faster than a speeding bullet.
Oh my god, are you for real? That's not fast at all, dude.
Bullets are crazy fast.
I'm the Flash. I can tap into the Speed Force. I can run faster than the speed of light.
Is light faster than bullets?
Yeah, by a lot.
Oh.
On your marks.
Hold up. I've got to tie my shoelaces and...
Get set.
Hold up, I'm not ready.
And... What the hell?
See? Bullets are fast. Faster than you, and since I'm definitely faster than bullets, I'm definitely faster than you. Transitive property.
Yep. This isn't how that works, you alien dickhole. You shot me.
Pretty sure people will agree with me on this one.
Are you serious? The media's gonna tear you apart.
Sorry, Flash, we're gonna have to take your leg.
Ah, god damn it.
That's stupid.
It's been a great month to be a fan of New York City. But this week, it's about to get a lot tougher. We are entering what could be the most extreme heat wave this city has seen in over a decade. And to every business owner, please set your thermostats to 78 degrees to alleviate the stress on our power grid. Every worker in New York City has the right to a safe workplace, and that includes safety in extreme heat.
They want all you other companies, you poor peasants, to turn yours to 78 degrees. So
Man,
you
fuck
help
that
with
shit.
the grid. But Taylor Swift don't need to help with the grid. Just you bums need to help with the grid. Let me show you something that should outrage every single American. And it's this. These are pills that can end a pregnancy. And that's not Plan B. It's a chemical abortion pill. And today, they can be ordered online and delivered.
I don't care.
Is social. I don't know how y'all can't see this coming. I can see it coming a mile away. Do you know what socialism is? Socialism and communism means that all the means of production and ownership of property belongs to the government. And the government is run by people. And if they own all the means of production and property ownership, when they tell you to do something, you got to do it. If they tell you you can't wash your dishes from 3 to 6 at night, and they own your property, that's what they're going to tell you. When they mismanage your tax dollars and they cannot sustain the health of the city, they're going to make you cut back on food, water, resources. They're going to, you over. And you know what? You gave it to them to do it. You can't even call in on the police and report that as a, because you gave them permission. I'm telling you, this is what's going to happen. Listen to what he say. Now that the heat wave is coming through, and I don't know what heat wave y'all dealing with on the East Coast, bro. It's 100 degrees at night in Phoenix at nighttime. Overnight, 105.
You chose to live in Phoenix. That's your problem.
So
Most people don't want to live like that.
And step y'all game up and get some real heat out here. Where it's 117 degrees. You can cook some eggs on the concrete, baby.
Fuck that
seatbelt
shit.
is a brand. You go put that seatbelt. Yeah, peel seatbelts off, people. Your dog won't last 20 seconds in the car by itself. People going to prison all day long leaving their dog in the car. They shut the door to leave their dog in the car to go check the tire pressure. Dog dead, right there, dead with the air conditioner on, dead. That's how hot it is out here. So don't come move here from New York. All right, anyway, enough of the joking. Roll it to.
It's been a great month to be a fan of New York City. But this week, it's about to get a lot tougher. We are entering what could be the most extreme heat wave this city has seen in over a decade. It can hit 100 degrees, with temperatures feeling as hot as 112 and staying hot into the weekend. We're ready. We want to make sure you are too.
Come out.
Especially
It's no we. It's no we. Europe. It's not we. What do you mean we ready? I hope that you are. This is the socialist nut job explaining you into an internment camp. We ready. No, he's saying that we're gonna make you do something because we haven't prepared enough for this. That's what he's saying.
Celebrating the World Cup, or the 4th of July, or renting out MSG to get married. Hypothetically, the most important thing you can do in this heat is to stay indoors with air conditioning. This is crucial for kids, older adults, those with respiratory or heart conditions, as well as for your pets. Now, if you do go out, be mindful of signs of heat stroke, including confusion, dizziness, nausea, and trouble breathing. Call 911 immediately if you or someone you know is experiencing these symptoms. If you don't have AC, or yours simply isn't cutting it, find one of NYC's cooling centers, like this library. Visit nyc.gov/beattheheat to find one of the hundreds of cooling centers open near you, now through Saturday. You can also call 311 or just look outside. Link NYC kiosks will display directions to a nearby cooling center. If you're working outside in this heat, it's important to be extra careful and know your rights. If you're a delivery worker, you have the right to use the bathroom at any business you are picking up from. And remember, the city's protected time off law applies to heat-related health issues as well. We're especially concerned about keeping homeless New Yorkers safe. That's why, for the first time in city history, we're deploying.
Lord help us. As you notice, this doesn't apply to police officers, right? Public servants that are out here risking their life, they can't come use the bathroom in your house. Wherever they're delivering service when you call 911. They can't go use the bathroom in your house. He's talking about homeless people, y'all. They wanted the homeless people to come and take a doo-doo in your business facility, and you can't tell them no. That's all that he's saying. Because if you're not homeless, you have a house to go to, and you have AC at your house. He's talking about homeless people. They're trying to make it seem like all y'all the same. It's homeless people. He wants homeless people to be able to go in the library and look at porn on the computer and wank off in front of your kids and take a dump in the bathroom, snort coke or drugs in the bathroom so they're not too hot on the streets. That's all he's saying. And the cooling centers and the websites where it show you how to, it's all, they blowing your money on this stuff. Road clip.
Cool vans that will provide any New Yorker who needs it medical care, water, and transport to cooling centers. We're also increasing street canvassing and other outreach this week. But we need your help too. So call 311 if you're worried about someone you see. We'll be keeping you updated all week with weather forecasts and resources to help you stay cool. Be sure to text Notify NYC to 692-692 for the latest updates. Let's look out for each other on the scorching.
Hey, Agatha, happy July the 4th.
Stay cool, my friends.
Karen, Jim, you guys are a lot like pretzels and cheese. Hot, messy, and a little salty. But totally meant to be together, am I right?
No, that's cheesy. Auntie Anne's crispy, cheesy mini dogs. It doesn't get cheesier than this.
Yeah.
Harbor Freight, built for two people.
Like me.
My birthday. Oh, happy birthday.
At GovX.com, this is what service looks like. And this, because service...
What year are you? What birth? How old are you now?
I wasn't always here, but thanks to Purdue Global, I got my literal dream job.
You're welcome.
That fool got shades on indoors. You know he's lame as a month. All right, let's get to what he really wanted y'all to do with your air conditioning units at your house. At your house. And then after he finished, I'm gonna tell you who he's not asking
Yeah,
to turn
Florida.
the AC down or up or whatever you want to call it. Roll it.
Is it better there?
Please
Cause
set
it's
your
hot
thermostat
as
to 78
freaky freak
degrees
here.
to alleviate the stress on our
I
power.
thought July the
Every
4th
worker
was
in New
supposed
York City
to, it was
has the right
supposed to
to a
cool
safe
down
workplace,
today.
and that includes
There was
safety
no
and
cooling
extreme
down.
heat.
It's still 100.
What? What? Make sure you turn your AC to 78 degrees. Roll clip.
Socialist Mayor Zoran Mamdani has a solution to beat the heat. He told New Yorkers, set your AC to 78 degrees. Turn off lights and electronics you're not using and unplug what you can. Everyone roasted him from stem to stern, with people saying this is so out of touch. One user posting
78 degrees is not cool.
communism, people. Another writing, do you feel the
I'm like,
warmth of
fuck you. I'm
collective
putting my shit on
America?
60.
One post called
I'm
out
putting my shit on like
voters and said,
65.
I have texted all my coworkers who voted for Zoran to send me a photo of their AC set to 78. And former LA mayoral hopeful Spencer Pratt also chimed with this warning, communism always goes the same way. First they promise you the world, free this, free that, abundance for all, how? Don't ask. And they get into power and the rationing begins. First a smiley ass, then a
It was
demand.
better on the
Then
beach.
you use too much energy,
Really?
comrade. My favorite troll, actually, Kennedy, was Spencer
68.
Pratt's tweet
Oh, 88 degrees there. Oh, so it is cooler. That's bad when Florida's cooler than Maryland and New York.
The Department of Energy does recommend during the summer.
Your mayor is telling everyone to keep their AC at 78 degrees, so it does so that uh, the running of electricity doesn't break down the New York City power grid. I'm sorry, if I'm living in New York, I'm putting my shit on like 61 or some shit. Fuck 78. Meanwhile, like, meanwhile, the celebrities aren't doing that shit. They living as comfortable as they want to be. They let the celebrities do whatever they want, but they telling everyone else, "Oh, you guys need to be on 78." Man, fuck that Muslim mayor. I still don't know how fucking New York City, after September 2001, elected a Muslim socialist mayor. That shit is crazy as hell. That ensured to me that I would never live in New York.
That Madison Square Garden is not
I wanted to live
78
there,
degrees
like
that
25
Taylor
years
Swift's
ago.
winning.
Don't want to live there now. No thanks.
They're gonna
Don't want to
cut
live in
that
LA
thing
either.
down
I
to
do like
58
LA.
degrees in there. 'Cause people
LA
gonna
is
be
mad
dancing,
cool,
spitting on each other and
but I think
drinking
it'd be better
booze
just to
and
visit
having a good
LA
time.
than to live there.
But they want all you other companies, you poor peasants,
I'll stick to my overseas ventures.
so you can help with the grid. But Taylor Swift don't need to help with the grid. Just you bums need to help with the grid. And they're gonna.
And there's always the people telling you how to be more environmentally conscious that don't follow the same rules.
This young lady said it best. Let me play her clip. Roll.
New York City is set to hit highs of 100 degrees today, and Zoran Momdani wants you to set your thermostat to 78 degrees in order to alleviate the power grid. Oh, but it's only business owners, Liz. I'm sorry, it starts with business owners, and then it goes to everyone. Oh, well, the power grid needs more alleviating, so everyone should set their thermostat to 78 degrees. 78 degrees is not cool.
It should certainly the
What I set
fucking
my thermostat to when I am cold. When it's 100 degrees out, especially in a place like New York City where the heat gets trapped and it feels warmer,
Yep.
you should be setting your thermostat to like 72 degrees max. And here's the thing, you guys are the ones that are paying for the electricity.
72 is still too fucking high. First of all, exactly, you're paying for it, so you should be able to set it to whatever the fuck you want. And two, 70, I wouldn't even set it to 72. I'm setting it lower than that. It gotta be like 65. It's gonna be like at 65. No higher than 67. So I love New York because I make more money there. Yeah, but the offset to that Agatha is you make more money there, but the cost of living is higher there. It's one of the, just like
Liz did a good job. You gotta
just like with DC, LA, and San Francisco, or Houston, like you're paying for the luxury of living in that city. So yeah, you're gonna make more money, but you have to make more money because the cost of living is much higher than there. Like making, like put it this way, making someone making 200,000 a year in New York is nothing. Someone making 200,000 a year in Chattanooga is a big deal.
They're gonna make you do whatever they want.
So I don't want to live somewhere where I'm making a lot of money, but it also costs a lot to live there. It doesn't, like, it doesn't help. Like I said, if I'm making 200,000 a year, let's say 250,000 a year, because there's these wealthy people who pretend that 250,000 is just middle class, and I'm not even talking about in 2026. I'm talking about way back in like 2007, reading the Washington Post. It was these journalists. They used to always claim that 250,000 a year was middle class because they lived in the Washington Beltway area, DC, all of that. And I'm like, 250,000 is not fucking middle class. Even today, that's not middle class, but definitely in 2007, that wasn't middle class. These people don't realize they're living a high income lifestyle, which includes where you choose to live. If you're living a high income lifestyle because you're choosing to live in a very expensive community or city, you choose to
He's telling y'all to do.
drive, to own luxury
Now you're on
vehicles.
your thumb and
You
control.
send your kids to, private schools, which I would do that. That's the one thing I would do. I would send my kid to a private school. But you send your kids to private schools. You own luxury vehicles. You live in a city where it has more billionaires per capita than any other place in the world, which is New York City. Um, and you can't go any like where you can't go anywhere in Manhattan without like running running into a millionaire. Like yeah, you're gonna make more money, but that's because you have to, because the cost of living in New York City is so high. Like I said, it's different if you're making 250,000. You live in Chattanooga, okay? You live in Milwaukee. You live in Akron. So yeah, because cost of living is through the roof. Exactly. Um, or like, or the other thing I don't like is people who make a lot of money, but then they can never travel because either they work for the government, which restricts where and how frequently they can travel, or you know, but by the virtue of how they make their money, they're always like they're always on call. It's like, because that's how my cousin is. He's like, yeah, we need to get you into this range of money that he's making. I'm like, yeah, that's cool, but like you're always on LinkedIn looking for new contracts, which is cool if that's what you like to do. But you can't travel anywhere because you're always on call to be somewhere. Like, what's the point of making a lot of, like, for me, I don't know. For me, it's like, what's the point of making a lot of money if I can't enjoy it? Like, is it just to buy a nice vehicle, buy pussy? Yeah, I said it. Um, buy pussy, buy a nice car, have a house in North Virginia or Montgomery County, but I can never like really go anywhere because my job always has me, yeah, like on standby. No, I don't want to do that shit. No, fuck that. Like if I can't go overseas, then what the fuck is the point of me having a lot of money? I don't want to be stuck here. Like, what's the point? Like, that's one of my biggest criticisms of Kevin Samuels. Like, what's the point of having all this money and you don't even have a passport? Like, he was always acting like he's flexing because he's going to because he can go to Miami or ATL or LA and New York and impress a bunch of entitled, self-important bitches. Like, who cares, Kevin? Like, you don't even the, the brother didn't even like Howard. Like, the brother didn't even have a passport until the time he died. He got a passport when he died because he was supposed to do some collaborations with O'Shea Duke Jackson. And I was like, man, that's cool. This is why the passport bros came off. They're like, man, why the fuck am I gonna spend all this money trying to improve myself for a bunch of bitches who ain't even worth it? Excuse my French accent. I'm sorry. I'm on a tangent, but yeah, like I was just saying, like sometimes making a lot of money ain't worth it if it comes with a lot of if it comes with a lot of strings attached to it that make the money not worth it. For me, like I said, the two things that would make not making a ton of money worth it is one, if I can't enjoy it the way in which I want to enjoy it, which is traveling, and two, if I'm making a lot of money, but most of it is going to sustaining a high income lifestyle. So those two things make it not worth it. So anyway, so yeah, I'm always traveling for work. No, so that's different. You're traveling for work. That's cool. Yeah, I'm. I was saying like the. I was saying differently, like where you can't travel because of your work. You travel. Your work affords you traveling. I'm saying people who can't travel because of their work. That the work keeps them tethered to where they are. So that's what I was talking about. So a true lot of my friends in that category, yeah. Like I said, what's the point in making 250,000 a year and you can't enjoy it? Well, I mean, depending on how you want to enjoy it. For me, enjoying it means traveling. If I can't travel, what's the point of making it? Like one of my friends, he he's a government contractor, and that restricts how often he can travel. Like, what's the point of making all that money? You can't even enjoy it, and then the money goes to subsidizing his lifestyle. Like, he has a home, so now he's tethered to that home for the next 30 years. He spends it on, like, I'm not pocket watching, but he spends his money frivolously, and it's like you're living like no one making that amount of money who's single and childless should be living check to check. I'll just put it that way. I'm not gonna put out how much he makes, where he lives, what he does, whatever, whatever. But if you make a lot of money and you still live in check to check, but you are single and childless, you're not fiscally responsible.
And even the degree to which we own it is questionable. Because the game
What's up?
or TV show
You
can be altered by the rights
NES
holder,
NESV
and when your copy of a movie or TV show is
6004.
digital, it can be changed. If the studio wants it, for example, if they want to update it, maybe they wish to remove a scene or where basically every form of home entertainment that we purchase is digital, and even the degree to which we own it is questionable. Because the game or movie or TV show can be altered by the rights holder, and when your copy of a movie or TV show is digital, it can be changed. If the studio wants it, for example, if they want to update it, maybe they wish to remove a scene or a line of dialogue that's considered offensive by today's moral standards. Perhaps a storyline or an episode of a TV show is now considered problematic.
That making no sense to me to be making that amount of money and living paycheck to paycheck. Maybe he's living above his means. Yeah, so again, I'm not gonna get too much into him. Like, I think he spends a lot of money trying to impress women who aren't actually attracted to him, so he has to try harder. And for me, like that's just to me that's just tricking. Like if you have to date by if you have to lead with your wallet and you're dating, to me that's just tricking with extra steps. Like if I'm going to trick, I might as well just go to a brothel or a spa and get my rocks off and then call it a day. I'm not going to do long term. I'm not going to do long term tricking where I'm always like gotta impress someone by taking them somewhere nice or dating someone, overseas, and then I'm like sending them money. I'm like sending them money while the local guys are blowing a chick back out. Like that doesn't make any sense to me. And it's like, again, not getting into too much specifics, but it's like yes, the person is single and childless, but like it's but it seems like if they once he's in between jobs or job contracts or whatever, he's like damn near struggling again, and it's like you shouldn't be making that amount of money and be struggling in between like paychecks or whatever. Like say if you have to go a few months between going from one job with the government to like another job or private or doing to me it doesn't make any sense. Like if again, I know like in places like New York and DC and LA, being six figures isn't a big thing, But for most of America, having a six-figure salary is a big deal because the average income in America is about 51,000. And I'm abstracting away from gender differences and racial differences in pay. The average American makes about 51,000 a year. However, the average American doesn't live in the most expensive cities in the world, or at least the most expensive cities in the country, like LA, New York, San Francisco, and DC. So if you live in those places, like relative to those cities, average income would be six figures. But if you are making high six figures, you're single and childless, and you live in a city, you may live in an expensive state, but the city in which you live is not one of the most expensive places, like here in Baltimore. Maryland is an expensive place to live, but Baltimore city itself is not. Um, Depending on where you choose to live in this within the city, the most expensive part about living in Baltimore City is the high property taxes. You're paying like the highest property taxes in the state in Baltimore City, partially because the city, Baltimore City, has a unique history. Um, it is not so Baltimore City, unlike most cities in other states where the city is part of the overall county adjacent to it. Baltimore City and Baltimore County are not connected. Like Baltimore City is not part of Baltimore County. Baltimore City is self-regulating and basically has to fund itself the way. So basically, the city is in a position of financially being responsible for itself as if it were a county in itself. As a matter of fact, like when it comes to certain logistics of the state of Maryland, Baltimore City is counted as a county. Um, and because of that, it has high property taxes and other sorts of fees for living in the city to sustain, you know, the government being able to function. And property taxes are high as shit. So that is a definite negative, net negative in living in Baltimore City. But overall, it's still cheaper than living in DC. Way cheaper. Like I said, unless you choose to live in one of the most expensive parts of the city. There are very, don't get me wrong, there are very expensive parts of Baltimore City that I've discovered recently, which I didn't know. I thought all of the city was just basically ghetto, but it's not. There are some really, there are some very exclusive neighborhoods in Baltimore, which I did not know. Anyway, unless you live in one of those places, which he is not, Baltimore City is not going to break your back. It's not going to break your bank, especially when you're already making a good six-figure salary. And again, you're single and childless, right? Um, so you shouldn't be struggling. Uh, but again, I don't know. And then another thing is, like I said, being like, then this friend also wants to travel as well. But again, you are damaging that by then getting a mortgage, and you're tethered to you're now tethered to that house for the next 30 years. I mean, yeah, you could sell it or whatever, whatever, but for the most part, the city, the once you're indebted to that house. Like I only want to be indebted to a place that I want to be permanently, or at least for an indefinite amount of time, which for me would be the Philippines, for instance, right? Or say Japan, like somewhere like the Philippines, well, specifically Metro Manila, because not all of, not every part of the Philippines I want to be tethered to be sure, but like Metro Manila or the adjacent areas around Metro Manila, um, Tokyo, uh, maybe Hong Kong, not Shanghai. Shanghai is dope, but being that it's part of mainland China, I don't think I want to be tethered to mainland China indefinitely just because of what happened, the government. But uh, basically somewhere in East Asia, whether, like I said, Tokyo, Metro Manila, perhaps Hong Kong. I would say Singapore, but uh, like the problem with Singapore is because it's a city state. Like once you leave Singapore, like y'all like everything outside of Singapore is international. So probably not Singapore. Singapore is a dope place to visit. Plus, Singapore is not cheap to live anyway. That's one of the most expensive areas, one of the most expensive places to live in Southeast Asia is Singapore. It's also the safest place to live in the world right now, and has the most powerful passport. Japan has the second most powerful passport, and also one of the most safest places to live as well. Peter Brady says happy fourth for me. It's the fifth. That's cool. I don't know how is the fifth for you already. It's what is it 6:53 in the morning for you? Like is it? It must be morning time for you. Well, yeah. It must be morning time for you. Sorry. Anyway, but thank you. Happy birthday, America. America. Yeah. Tell you what, I was definitely not trying to go anywhere to see some fireworks in this hot ass weather. Someone probably light fireworks and the shit will explode on them. What's up from Houston? Is that Ghana? 7787? How hot is it in Houston? I still gotta go to Texas. I'm trying to get some Texas barbecue. Agatha says sing our song. What's our song? What, we got a song, Agatha? Don't be telling my business. I'm joking. Agatha and I are not together. Okay. Joking. There I am. It's cold. Oh, where you are, it's cold. 94 degrees and humid. It's 100 degrees here and humid. Like yesterday, it was 116 degrees with the real. Well, it was 100 degrees with the real field temperature, which includes the heat index made it 116. Today is about I think it was like 112, 114, and it's not leveling off. Now, I thought today the heat was going to level off because it was a heat advisory in effect for the past 2 weeks up until like July the 3rd, but July the 4th still feels just as bad as it has been for the past 3 days. And I've been getting up mad. Like, well, I mean, I get up the same time every day, but I've been getting out the house earlier than I usually do. Usually, I don't get out the house till like 5 a.m., but I've been getting out the house around 4:45 or earlier. Like today was like 4:42, 4:41 to go run, and it's still like 78, 79 degrees, which is hot, but it's still like the coolest period of the day for me. So anything after that would have been just intolerable. Let me put on another video. What am I doing? Where are you? I'm in Maryland.
Let's throw a penalty flag on the.
I've talked periodically over the years about the end of physical media as we know it and how we're being slowly acclimated to
I'm still buying physical media. I'm buying all the DVDs I like for the movies.
Entertainment that we purchase is digital, and
But
even the degree to which we own
I still
it
need to buy
is questionable.
one of those mini
Because the
DVD
game
players,
or movie or TV show
so I can
can be
hook it up
fault
to the TV
or
as opposed to my
and when
computer.
your copy of a movie or TV show is digital,
Crab Cake,
it can
Maryland.
be changed.
I think there's only
If the studio
only one
wants, for
Maryland. Yeah,
example,
Crab
if
Cake,
they want to
Maryland.
update it, maybe they wish
I
to
don't eat crab
remove
cakes, by the
a
way.
scene or a line of dialogue that's considered offensive by today's moral
Haven't ate
standards.
one in maybe like 30
Perhaps a
years.
storyline
Probably
or an
longer than
episode
that
of a
because
TV
I
show
don't
is
like
now
crabs or
considered
crab cakes. So I
problematic,
think the last time
or
I
might
ate
be considered problematic in
one
the future.
was,
And with video games, patches and updates
I'll say
can
probably
change the game,
35 years
and
ago.
most of these are welcome. They're simply bug fixes
Maybe longer.
or potential additional features.
Probably like
which is
35
great,
years ago.
But when you purchase a game or a movie or a TV show, you're only purchasing a license to access it. And as a result,
He's
you
right.
don't own the actual media itself. And it can be altered, like I say, or even removed from the library entirely. Now look, I think that services like Spotify are great. It's incredibly convenient. But I'm under no illusions that
Yeah, I'm not
songs or
buying music
podcasts
anymore though,
that
brother.
I like can disappear at any
Oh
time.
well, the only music I still
The
own,
artist may want to remove them.
I
And
still
that's a
have
big
my
bugbear of
classical
mine.
music.
But if I had the
I still have my
actual
classical
MP3
music.
file
I
on
still
my
have
hard
that.
drive,
I wasn't getting rid of
I'm
my
a lot
classical
more
music.
comfortable with that.
So I still got my
Even
classical
though
music.
it's digital, I would still own it
And
in
I'm
that
s-
case. And I know
I
it's
think, do I still
stored
have my
on an offline backup drive that
Bob
I
Marley
control.
CDs? I think I still have my Bob Marley
Of
CD.
course, the
No,
reason
no, I
I'm
think I
talking
got
about
rid of that,
this,
but
as
I still
you
got my
probably
classical
guessed,
music.
is because
I wasn't getting rid of that
Sony recently announced
because I'm
that
always
going
gonna love
forward,
classical music. So I
they're
wanted
going to be
I wanted
ending
my
physical
classical
media
music
production
on
for
physical media that I
PlayStation,
could play.
their PlayStation games console.
But it is
2028.
because PlayStation is
So
saying they're
the
no
loss
longer
of
gonna
physical
have
media is a hot topic at the
physical
moment,
discs.
understandably so.
But that's
A lot
where
of
video
people
games
are
have been
very
moving for the
concerned
past
about
20
this.
years anyway. That's why I don't play.
Now,
It's one of the reasons I
gamers
don't
are
like
not new to
modern
this either.
video gaming.
Steam has been a
And while
service for a long time.
I was gonna
and
buy
I
a
think it
classic,
works very well. Although
a mini
about,
classic
I think it was
Nintendo.
6 years ago or so, Apple dropped support for 32-bit
Lived in
applications
Ellicott City back in
after macOS
1994.
Catalina.
Okay.
So now, 32-bit games
Are you
that you
from
purchased
here?
on Steam, for example, will no
Are
longer
you
work.
from Maryland or
Cash App has very much helped me save my money. So when I need it,
like
it's just
that's
there.
not too far from where I live. I don't want to. I'm not, I don't want to put specifically where I live, but because I used to overshare way too much on my channel. So I try not to do that anymore. But yeah, Ellicott City is relatively close to me. So ask your friends and family in Ellicott City how hot it is. No, from Wisconsin, but now live in Houston. Okay. I used to live in Illinois. I've been to Wisconsin like once or twice.
Isn't that great?
Like I remember definitely going to the Wisconsin
Is
Dells.
no longer usable.
That was so
And the
fun
same is true
as a
not just for
kid.
games, but other applications I've purchased down the years. They don't work now. It's not Steam's fault in that case, but it is Apple's fault. And another example of, hey, developers, I, the consumer, didn't ask you
Oh,
to do that.
do they still
I
do the
didn't
Wisconsin
ask you
Dells thing?
to break
Like, do they still have like the
liability.
little?
I didn't ask you to make stuff
Because
that
the
worked
Wisconsin
maybe
Dells
before
is
would
like
not work now.
that is like a secret. Like that is like a secret treasure
Look,
for
I get it.
people probably
It
only
seems
in the
very much like
Midwest.
physical media is going the way
Like
of cash.
probably only people who
think
live in
there's
the
a
upper
direct
Midwest
correlation
know or knew of
The
like
great digitizing
how
of our
cool the
lives
Wisconsin
has
Dells
been
was.
underway for a
Like you
long
had
time.
the
And people tap with their
you know you
cards
had
or their
the
phones
the
in order to
go-karts,
make purchases in
you had the
grocery store or
caverns.
whatever. And the convenience is obvious.
It
and
was
that
like
convenience
like
is
it was
our
like it was
undoing.
like basically like a whole it was like
Simplicity
this
and
Wisconsin Dells
convenience of
sort of like
modern
an
smart
amusement park
technologies
area
have been
sort
the
of
greatest
thing.
weakness of consumers for
It was
some
fun.
time. Paper cash means freedom and privacy.
Wish-
But cashless transactions, they mean everything
Cold.
you buy is known, and as
What?
a result, when
Wish
and where
cold
you are when you
sun
make that
too
purchase,
cold
that's
too.
also known. My point is, the nature and the evolution of
I
the
need my
technology
glasses.
inevitably leads to a situation where everything goes digital out of a drive towards greater convenience and simplicity. It is cheaper to produce a games console without the need for a disk drive and all of the mechanics that go into that.
Wish
It
Coldson,
is
too
nice to
cold, too
own your
long.
physical
Oh, I get
Blu-ray
it.
disc. It's
Wish
ideal,
Coldson.
but it's becoming a relic
The
of an
Delta
age,
still there. They were
unfortunately.
fun. Okay.
And like I say,
I remember going to the
Steam gamers
caverns,
on
and
PC,
there was
Mac,
this part in the cavern
even
called
mobile
Fat Man's
games
Misery,
on their phones
because
and
basically,
tablets,
if you were
they're
obese,
already
you couldn't
used to the
fit through
idea
that little
of
that
exclusively
passageway to get
digital purchases
through the rest of the
for video
cavern,
games. And
because
you know what?
it was
I
like a
wouldn't
hike.
even be against
It was
the
like a
idea
trail
of exclusive
through the
digital
caverns you
media
took, and
if it meant
this one
that the
little part
game or
I'm
movie or
always gonna
TV
remember is called
show
Fat
was
Man's Misery,
stored
because
locally on my
you know,
hard
if you were a
drive,
big person, you
entirely
couldn't
on my hard
fit
drive.
through those
Because
through
that
those
would mean that I
two
would own it
large
and it couldn't change
stalactites.
and it couldn't be removed. But that's not the offering that consumers are getting. They're
Meant
getting
to say
basically a state
what's
where
cold.
they're more
Okay.
like permanent renters of content. Content
I'll take
that they
cold.
used to be able
I
to
prefer
own
cold over
outright.
hot.
And
You
it
can
feeds into the
you
nothing
can
and be happy model. That's right across the
you
board
can prepare
in our
yourself for
society, it
cold,
seems,
but there's
increasingly.
nothing you can do
Young
for
people
hot. Like
can't get on the
you
property
can only
ladder.
take off
They
but
can't
so
afford
much
to buy
clothes
their own home, so they're
when
stuck
you're
renting.
hot.
Rent isn't exactly
When
cheap.
you're cold, you
And I
can
don't
bundle
understand
up.
why consumers feel
You
very
can layer up more and
disenfranchised
more.
with the idea
You can
of
put on thermal.
permanent
You can put
subscription
on.
models for basically
You can
everything,
add
including their entertainment.
thermal things
They
into your
never
clothing
agreed
to make
this.
yourself
They
warmer.
never asked
But there's not an
for this
opposite of
change.
that. Like
It's
when
just
you're
something that's been
when you're
forced upon
hot,
them through
like
incrementalism.
even if you go completely
And
naked, you're
I
still gonna be
say,
hot.
as
Like
well,
you can't
licensing
like
deals with the rights holders of the content, the game,
what can
movie,
you do?
TV show, they can cease at any time, and the user loses access to the content. So it's just terrible. It's really terrible. And of course, the
Well,
distribution
PlayStation's
platforms
simply
and the
gonna miss out.
developers
Like they're gonna
love the recurring
force people to
revenue
go to
model
Xbox
associated with the
or
endless
people to go to the
subscription model.
Nintendo DX
One-time
if they're still making a
purchases
DX.
are much
I don't know.
less lucrative for them in the long run. But here's the thing. This situation will only last
It's funny
as
because
long
I
as
actually thought the
consumers are
gamers were
willing to
preferring the
cooperate. At the end
digital
of the day,
versions of
your
the games
money
as
is
opposed to the
your
physical. Because
money.
I had a
You
friend tell me
choose
he preferred
what
the
you want to
digital
do.
version
Except, of course,
because
that
it
they
was
bring in
cheaper,
programmable central bank digital currencies. But let's
and that they would
let's assume for
update the
now that
games
in the future our money
online.
will still
So
work the same way.
I thought modern gamers actually preferred the digital
I don't
versions
think
of the games. I guess I was
consumers
wrong.
should be
Or maybe that was just him because he
satisfied
was
with this.
cheap.
If they
I
are not
don't know.
willing to meet you where you are and provide the kind of
But
experience you're looking
but I
for
told him I
as a
always
consumer,
preferred like a game with
then don't give them your
the
phone.
head cartridges, and I thought I was just
You're
being a
not
fossil.
asking for much here. You're just asking for what you once had. What was
But I would
fair,
like to see that
what was
broken down
reasonable.
by
The good news
age
is,
cohort
legacy
who
consoles, older
prefers
consoles, and
the legacy
vintage
physical
game
media
market are
gaming
still a thing.
versus the digital.
It's a shame that some consumers will have to seek refuge in the past, but there you are.
I said that's funny. They had a width
Ownership
scale, not a height
matters.
scale. Yeah.
Your private
When I
property
moved to Texas in
matters. You
1985
should
and
have the
found
right
out I
to
could
own the
wear
stuff
shorts
that
in
you buy.
January, Mama didn't raise a fool.
Seems ludicrous to even have to say that.
Yeah,
It's
Texas is
hilarious.
too hot for me.
Losing
But
your right to
you
own
moved there in
things that you buy
1985, so you've been there a
is a
long
loss of
time.
control.
I thought like
It's a
maybe
loss
you
of
moved there
control.
like in like the
I'm sure
2000s
this
or something.
conversation is going to
But
come
you've been
up
there
many
since
times again in
85,
the
so
future, so I will no doubt
I was like what,
make more
7
videos
back
on this
then?
subject. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to Computing Forever. Take care. I shall
I
see
said
you
I
in
didn't
the
move
next
back to the
video.
East Coast
Bye-bye.
until the 90s, the very beginning of the 90s.
Confused by all the choices at Mattress Firm?
And I haven't been back to Illinois since. Well, no, I've been back to Chicago, if that counts, when I'm
72 months on Tempur-Pedic.
at an airport.
We make sleep
But
easy.
I haven't been there to like just hang out. Although I was thinking about going to the Taste of Chicago, so I heard that the Taste of Chicago is no longer the same. And it's crazy expensive. I'm like, yeah, okay, no thanks then. I'm not going all the way there just for some overpriced food that I can get here at a food festival here. That wouldn't make sense. America, fuck yeah. It is hot, 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 hot. Watch this, even though it's a day old. Have a good day. It was nice exchanging lives. Yeah, you too. I'm about to get off myself so I can be more comfortable and get out these clothes and turn off the light. But obviously, I can't do that while I'm live streaming, or this would turn into a whole different sort of live stream, right? I'm not doing I'm not doing OnlyFans, so that probably wouldn't work here. I don't know. Maybe I need to start OnlyFans. I'm joking. I wouldn't do that. If I did, I would never show my face.
Before taking, tell your doctor about liver or
But
gallbladder
anyway,
problems.
all
or if you're
jokes
pregnant,
aside,
breastfeeding, or
have a
chemotherapy.
good July the
Serious
4th.
side effects include liver injury,
All right.
gallstones, gallbladder,
Take care.
pancreas inflammation. Stop taking and call your doctor about tiredness, nausea, vomiting.